What did you think when the Americans claimed that they saw a mermaid?
It maybe could be mermaid, could be something else, but we want 100% proof.
Oh my God! What is that?
For centuries, tales of mermaids have fascinated the human imagination, inspiring myths, legends, and folklore across cultures worldwide. In this video, we'll dive into some of the most compelling and intriguing mermaid sightings, from a mermaid in Kenya to a diver's astonishing encounter. Here are 20 mermaid sightings you won't believe are real. Number 20. Christopher Columbus saw mermaids. Now let's dive deeper into Columbus' encounter with the supposed mermaids. In his journal, he described the creatures as having faces like men and voices like men, which might explain why he found them less than attractive. However, he also noted that they had a form that was not like that of any other specimen of animal. This description, along with the fact that he specifically used the word mermaid in his writing, led many to assume that Columbus believed he saw the mythical beings. But here's where things get even more interesting. Some historians and scientists have suggested that the creatures Columbus saw may have been manatees. Yes, manatees, those gentle giants we now know look nothing like mermaids. However, back in Columbus' time, people didn't have the same level of knowledge about marine life that we do today. It's possible he didn't know what a manatee was and mistook it for a mermaid. In fact, this theory is supported by the fact that manatees have somewhat human-like faces and can make vocalizations that sound like human speech. Additionally, their tails could potentially be mistaken for a mermaid's tail if seen from a distance. So, did Columbus really see mermaids off the coast of Africa? The answer is still up for debate. While some believe that he did encounter these mythical beings, others point to the possibility that he simply mistook manatees for mermaids. Number 19. Breathing monstrosity. The clip shows a strange and terrifying creature that seems to be struggling to breathe. It has a man's upper body but with the head and tail of a fish. As the camera gets closer, the creature's gills flap desperately, indicating it may have been out of the water for too long. A faint wheezing sound can be heard, as if it's gasping for breath, adding an unsettling layer to the already eerie atmosphere. The crate beneath it creaks under its weight, as if even the object it rests on is straining to hold up this strange, otherworldly being. The sheer size of the creature's tail suggests it could have been powerful underwater, but now it looks utterly helpless. The camera zooms in for a closer look, revealing the creature's features in all their grotesque glory. Its eyes are large and bulging, its skin slimy and scaly, and its mouth gaping open in a gasp for air. Its massive flaps were incredibly hideous as well. I don't know about you, but if this is what mermaids look like, I wouldn't be thrilled to see them underwater. This looks like something straight out of a horror movie. Some claim this creature isn't alive at all and that this is merely an animatronic, but there are also those who believe this is what mermaids really look like. What do you think? Number 18. Secret science experiment. Mermaids have fascinated humans for centuries, with tales of these aquatic beings dating back to ancient civilizations such as the Greeks and the Babylonians. These mythical creatures have captivated imaginations and stirred up debates about their existence. While mermaids have been depicted as beautiful and enchanting, the truth behind their existence remains a mystery. Some believe they're real creatures hiding beneath the waves, while others consider them folklore. One of the earliest depictions of mermaids can be traced back to the Babylonians. The goddess Atargatis was said to have transformed into a half-fish, half-human creature out of shame for accidentally killing her lover. The Greeks also had their own version of the mermaid with the myth of the sirens, creatures with enchanting voices and beautiful appearances that lured sailors to their deaths. The idea of mermaids has been present in almost every culture with access to bodies of water, including China, Japan, and Africa. In Japan, for example, the mermaid-like creature known as Ninjio was believed to have healing powers and was highly sought after by fishermen. Similarly, the Mami Wata of West Africa was known to grant wishes and provide good luck to those who offered her gifts. But why have these tales persisted throughout the centuries? Some believe that the idea of mermaids was used to explain unexplained phenomena in the sea. For example, sailors who had never seen a manatee before might have mistaken them for mermaids due to their humanoid shape. Others speculate that mermaids were created as a way to instill fear in sailors, warning them of the dangers that lurk beneath the waves. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, many still believe that mermaids exist. There have been countless sightings over the years, with some claiming to have even caught them on camera. While these sightings have often been dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications, some maintain that mermaids are a very real part of our world. Perhaps one of the most famous stories of mermaid sightings is that of the Fiji mermaid. This creature, which was exhibited in sideshows in the 19th century, was claimed to be a real mermaid that had been caught and preserved. In reality, it was nothing more than a hoax, with the body being created by stitching together the upper body of a monkey with the tail of a fish. Despite this, the allure of mermaids remained strong, with many still searching for evidence of their existence. This clip seemed to have captured evidence of scientists analyzing and observing what looked like a real mermaid that was pulled out of the water. Several people claimed they saw these scientists, dressed in protective outerwear, near a lake in North America. Intrigued, the group observed what looked like a secret experiment going on. The entire thing seemed very discreet. Perhaps this is one of the few operations hidden from the public. What do you think? Number 17. Dead mermaid washed up on shore after flood. It's not unusual for beachgoers to stumble upon something strange washed up on the shore. However, what these beachgoers found was beyond strange. It was downright otherworldly. As they walked along the beach after a flood, their eyes were drawn to something unusual lying on the sand. As they got closer, they realized it was the body of a creature unlike anything they had ever seen before. It had the upper body of a woman, with long, flowing hair and delicate arms, but the lower half was that of a fish, with scales and a long tail. The creature was dried out as if it had been out of the water for some time. Its arm was stuck in a position as if it was trying to reach out for the ocean. The beachgoers were stunned and amazed by what they saw, and they quickly took out their phones to capture footage of the strange creature. Speculations about the creature's origin started to surface. Some believed it was a mermaid, a mythical creature of the sea, while others thought it could be a new species never before seen by humans. Theories and rumors spread like wildfire, but no one could come up with a concrete explanation for what they had found. The discovery of this creature sparked debates and discussions among scientists, researchers, and curious minds alike. Some believe it could be a hoax or a strange creation made by an artist, while others think it could be a real-life example of a mermaid or some unknown species of sea creature. Number 16. The human fish. A group of tourists was strolling by a serene lake when they saw what looked like a human face floating through the water. But it turns out the bizarre sight was actually a fish with some unique markings. As they leaned in closer, they realized the face had distinct features, a pair of eyes, a nose-like bump, and even a mouth that seemed to form a frown. The eerie resemblance to a human face left the tourists both fascinated and unnerved, with some even speculating that it could be a supernatural sign. The fish swam slowly, its strange markings creating an optical illusion that made it hard to look away. Someone captured the eerie optical illusion on camera, and now the footage has gone viral, giving animal lovers around the world the chills. We couldn't find the original source of the clip, but it's somewhere in Asia. There are conflicting claims about the fish's identity. Some say it's a carp with coincidental markings, while others believe it's actually a human fish. There are claims that carps with these markings are magical, and that's why they can easily fetch a high price in the market. There were even some claims that these creatures can go for thousands of dollars in auctions. Number 15. Mermaid caught in Kenya. As we know, mermaids are mythical creatures that have captured the imaginations of people all over the world for centuries. Many believe that these half-human, half-fish creatures exist only in legends and folklore, but this footage seems to suggest otherwise. Our first sighting was captured in Kenya. In this clip, you can see a woman with mesmerizing dark hair lying on the sand. She looks human, except for her lower body, which resembles the tail of a massive fish. The mermaid appears unconscious, lying motionless on the hot sand, but her fins are still moving as if she's struggling to breathe. Perhaps she was trying hard to survive. A massive crowd immediately surrounded the strange creature, but aside from its moving fins, it wasn't regaining consciousness. Toward the end of the video, the camera gets closer to the alleged mermaid and captures the rising and falling of its chest. In human age, the mermaid looks incredibly young. It's unknown whether the creature survived, but it was likely left out there to dry up and eventually die. Number 14. Decaying mermaid skeleton. One of the questions skeptics ask mermaid believers is that if there really are mermaids out there, why haven't we discovered any fossils or skeletons yet? Well, perhaps this woman finally discovered what we've been trying to find all along. A woman named Christy Jones and her family stumbled upon what looks like a mermaid skeleton while enjoying a picnic on the sand in Sefton, Merseyside. The skeleton is said to have a massive rib cage resembling a human and the spiny tail of a fish, leaving many to speculate about what kind of creature it could be. The discovery has caused quite a stir on social media, with different opinions circulating online. Some believe it's the skeleton of a manatee, while others think it's the remains of an actual mermaid. Because the skeleton has been out under the sun for so long, it was hard to identify the creature. I don't know about you, but I'm also skeptical as to what this creature really is. Number 13. Japan's mysterious mermaid. Legend has it that this 300-year-old mermaid mummy, displayed at the Anjuan Temple in Nasukuchi, has healing powers and can grant immortality to those who eat its flesh. But upon closer inspection, scientists have discovered that this mermaid mummy is not as mysterious as it appears. Last year, researchers from the Kurashiki University of Science and the Arts took the mummy for tests and CT scans to unravel its secrets. The results were surprising. The mermaid was entirely artificial and made in the late 1800s. Its body was made of paper, cloth, and cotton, and it had no skeleton. The lower portion of the body was from a fish's tail, but the head and jaw were taken from a mammal, and the teeth were from a fish. Despite being artificial, this mummy still has religious significance, as Japanese mermaids were associated with a legend of immortality. According to Hiroshi Kanashida from the Okayama Folklore Society, some people used to eat the scale of mermaid mummies because they believed in the legend of immortality. He thought this mummy was made at some point during an era of Japanese history from 1603 to 1867. Number 12. Strange catch in Indonesia. Most mermaids in this compilation perfectly match the popular description of these creatures, beautiful with the upper body of a man or a woman and the lower body of a fish. However, this mermaid spotted in Silhouettes, Indonesia, is quite different. A group of men was fishing in the ocean when they noticed a massive tail sticking out of the water. After several minutes of struggling, they finally managed to pull it out of the water. What they saw next was something straight out of a horror movie. The creature they pulled out had the lower body of a fish, but its face was something entirely different. It had human-like teeth, a chin, and two eyes that stared blankly into the distance. The men tried to inspect it closer, but the creature was unresponsive and showed no signs of life. It's like it was dead or in some kind of coma. It's hard to make out the creature's features in the low-quality footage, but one thing is for sure, this is not your average fish. Many people are speculating that it might be a mermaid, while others believe it's some kind of undiscovered sea creature. Whatever it is, this video has stirred up quite a controversy on the internet, with people coming up with all sorts of theories about the origins of this monstrous creature. Number 11. Deep Sea Hunter. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration sent a deep-sea camera on a mission to discover new and never-before-seen sea creatures more than 1,500 feet underwater. What they captured, however, was something out of this world. We've been trying to learn about what's been lurking at the bottom of the ocean for so long, and perhaps this clip will finally show what's really hiding in the abyss. In the footage, a fish swims by, minding its own business, when suddenly it gets hit by what appears to be a spear. As the camera zooms out, the outline of a humanoid figure, or what can only be described as a mermaid, comes into focus in the background. It seemed like the creature in this video was an agile and skilled hunter underwater. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think there are sea creatures in the abyss with hands that can hold spears and other weapons. There's only one explanation, right? This creature trying to hunt the fish is a mermaid. Number 10. Monstrous creature. This video making rounds online has sent shivers down many viewers' spines. It shows two teenagers playing on the beach, running around and having a good time when they notice something peculiar on the sand. As they draw closer, they realize it's a motionless lump covered in seaweed, somewhat resembling a body. Curiosity getting the best of him, one of the boys picks up a stick and slowly approaches it. He kneels carefully beside the unknown mound. Suddenly, the kelp-covered heap comes to life, and a terrifying humanoid creature is face to face with the boy. A horrific scream bellows from the beast, and pale, skinny arms spring out to grab the teen. The video ends with another monstrous snarl from the creature and footage of the feet of one of the teens trying their best to run away. The abrupt ending leaves viewers wondering what they just witnessed. Although the footage is quite grainy and hard to see, many speculate that the creature was half human and half fish. The boy's shocked reaction only fuels these claims. Some have even suggested that it could be a mermaid, though this theory remains highly contested. Number 9. Caught with a fish. Stories of mermen and merfolk often come from mariners and sailors who stay in the ocean for most of the day. In most cases, we only hear about the crazy stories and sightings, but this clip seems to be one of the only clips showing what fishermen encounter. In this video, several fishermen are trying to pull up a pretty big catch. As the net slowly rises, you can see the fishermen struggling to pull it onto the deck, as if it were the first time they ever needed to exert that much strength. All the men gather around the net, trying to heave it over the side of the boat. The water is choppy, and the cameraman has trouble focusing the camera. It seems like there was more than fish inside the net. There was something humanoid trapped. With some of the men still holding on to the net, a webbed hand tries reaching out of the net, and you can see the silhouette of an arm and part of a torso through the black fabric. As soon as the arm presses against the material, the terrified man holding the rope drops it, causing the net and all its contents to fall back into the water. The bewildered fishermen didn't know what to do. They all look overboard, but it's gone for good. There's a huge chance we'll never know what creature was mixed up among the fish. Number 8. The Fiji mermaid. For the longest time, mermaids have been described as creatures with the upper body of a human and the lower half of a fish. For centuries, mermaids are usually portrayed as beautiful creatures that can lure fishermen with a single gaze. However, we're still unsure as to how mermaids really look. There are videos and sightings of mermaids that look incredibly magical, but there are also those that look like the Fiji mermaid. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Fiji mermaid, it's a creature that has captured the imaginations of people all over the world for centuries. Legend has it that this half-human, half-fish creature was caught off the coast of Fiji in the 1800s and eventually made its way into the hands of showmen and collectors. But here's the thing. Despite what many people believe, the Fiji mermaid might actually be real. Let's start with a backstory. In the 1800s, P.T. Barnum, the famous American showman, got his hands on what he claimed was a real Fiji mermaid. Japanese fishermen supposedly caught this creature off the coast of Fiji, and it was a strange and grotesque sight to behold. It had the head and torso of a monkey but the tail and fins of a fish. Barnum capitalized on the public's fascination with this creature and displayed it in his museum, where it drew huge crowds. But as time went on, people began to question whether the Fiji mermaid was actually real. Some claimed that it was a hoax created by stitching together the body of a monkey and the tail of a fish. Fast forward to today, and the mystery of the Fiji mermaid remains. While there's no concrete evidence to prove its existence, some compelling arguments suggest that it might be real after all. So, is the Fiji mermaid real? We might never know for sure. Number 7. Mermaid's quick escape. In this viral video, we see a creature that can only be described as a monstrous hybrid of a fish and a human. With its fish-like head and tail, and a body that seems to be a cross between the two, this creature is unlike anything we've ever seen. But what's even more shocking than its appearance is its behavior. As we watch, the creature struggles and wriggles on the dock, desperately trying to return to the water where it belongs. And when it finally does manage to flop back into the waters, it's clear that it wants nothing more than to escape the prying eyes of the humans who've witnessed its strange existence. So what exactly is this creature? Some believe it to be a mermaid or merman, while others think it's simply a bizarre mutation of some kind. Whatever the case, one thing is for sure. This creature is a mystery that continues to intrigue and captivate us all. And while some may dismiss it as a hoax or a clever editing trick, the sheer realism of its movements and the way it interacts with its surroundings make it hard to deny that something extraordinary is happening here. Number 6. Up above the diver. Now take a look at this clip. As the diver makes his way through the coral reef, he spots a school of fish swimming in front of him. With his camera rolling, he inches closer to capture the perfect shot. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a flash of shimmering scales catches his eye. He quickly looks up to see a woman with the tail of a fish swimming gracefully above him. The diver is stunned and unsure of what he's seen, but he's quick to keep his camera rolling. The creature moves with such grace and speed that it's hard to keep up with her. It's almost as if she's teasing the diver, darting back and forth as if she's playing a game of tag. But just as quickly as she appeared, she disappeared back into the vastness of the ocean, leaving the diver in awe and wonder. The clip has sparked a debate among viewers, with some believing it to be a figment of the diver's imagination, while others are convinced that this was a real-life mermaid sighting. Number 5. Mermaid jumping off the rock. The more you try to search for something, the harder it'll be to find. Sometimes this is true. Perhaps that's why this group of people sightseeing in Israel spotted what they shouldn't have seen that day. While looking out into the ocean's murky waters, they saw what looked like a mermaid perched on top of one of the rocks in the distance. At first, they thought it was just an illusion caused by the sunlight reflecting off the waves, but the figure seemed too distinct and human-like to be a trick of the eye. As they watched in disbelief, the mermaid appeared to be brushing her long hair, completely unaware of her audience. The wind picked up, and with a sudden movement, the creature looked toward the shore, almost as if sensing the onlookers. After noticing the presence behind her, the creature immediately jumped and disappeared into the water. Now, I don't know about you, but despite the low quality of this clip, that creature that just jumped into the ocean is very clearly a mermaid. What are your thoughts? Could it be that this clip was only wonderfully edited? Number 4. Among the sea creatures. This clip was captured by a diver who decided to hide behind some tall corals to observe the marine life undisturbed. Little did they know, they were about to witness something truly extraordinary. As the camera focuses on a school of colorful fish, something else catches the diver's attention in the distance. The figure's long, shimmering tail glided through the water with such fluidity that it seemed almost unreal. Its movements were in sync with the rhythm of the ocean, as if it belonged perfectly among the marine life. For a brief moment, the figure turned, giving the camera a glimpse of what appeared to be an almost human face, before vanishing into the deeper waters. The diver stayed hidden behind the coral, probably hoping to capture more of the mermaid, but it disappeared as quickly as it came, probably never to be seen again. Did you see it? Let's look at that again, shall we? This video doesn't have the best quality, but you can clearly see the woman's hair and her tail moving gracefully in the water. The very existence of mermaids is full of mystery, intrigue, and speculation. While some of the sightings we've explored today might be hoaxes or misidentifications. Number 3. Scuba divers' brief encounter with a mermaid. Now take a look at this intriguing footage. Here, we can see a diver exploring the bottom of the ocean. As the diver explores the ocean's depths, a big orange tail catches their attention. They follow it with their camera, and as they move closer, the tail appears attached to a human-like body. The tail moves gracefully, and the camera struggles to keep up with the speed at which it moves. The creature is far away, but its movements are mesmerizing to watch. The diver tries to approach the creature, but it disappears into the darkness of the ocean. The diver is left in awe, wondering if what they saw was a mermaid or some other mysterious sea creature. The footage captured is analyzed and scrutinized by marine biologists and mermaid enthusiasts alike, all trying to make sense of the incredible sighting. What do you think about this footage? Let me know in the comments down below. Number 2. Strange catch on the beach at night. The clip begins with a group of men standing on the shore, gathered around a massive mysterious object covered by a dirty tarp. The only visible thing is the creature's tail, which appears to be quite large and elongated. As the men cautiously lift part of the tarp, a collective gasp can be heard. Whatever is underneath seems far too big and unusual for a common catch. One of them attempts to poke at the creature with a stick, only to be met with a sudden twitch from the tail, sending everyone scrambling back in surprise. The skin of the creature is rough, almost scaly, with a faint glow under the moonlight, adding to the eerie atmosphere of the night. The creature's tail is the most striking feature, with long, sharp spines protruding from its edges. Some speculate that it might be a sea monster, while others believe that it could be a rare species of fish that has never been seen by humans before. However, some are skeptical, claiming it's simply a hoax or a practical joke. Now it's time for today's topic. A local fisherman in the remote Amazon rainforest made a shocking discovery when he stumbled upon a creature that defied belief, a real-life mermaid. This bizarre encounter occurred when the fisherman, while on his usual route along a secluded river, noticed something unusual tangled in his fishing net. At first, he thought it was a large fish, but upon closer inspection, he realized it was something far more unsettling. A mermaid, half human, half fish, and disturbingly lifelike. He quickly brought the creature back to his village, storing it in a wooden tub inside his home, unsure of what to do next. However, as hours passed, something strange began to happen. The mermaid's skin changed color, and the air around her seemed to grow colder. By the 6th hour, the fisherman felt a deep sense of unease and dread. Without warning, the creature let out a shrill, terrifying cry. Fearing for his life, the fisherman fled the house, leaving behind the mysterious mermaid. The next morning, the creature had vanished without a trace, leaving the villagers to wonder if what he had found was a dream or a nightmare. Number 1. Beneath the fresh water. In this next clip, a man decided to go fishing at a nearby lake when he noticed something strange swimming underneath his boat, a creature with a slender body and a big tail. As he watched more closely, the creature's movements were smooth, almost graceful, unlike any fish he had ever seen before. It swam with a fluidity that seemed almost too deliberate, as if it were aware of being watched. The sun's reflection off the water made it difficult to capture a clear view, but for a brief moment, the creature's tail flicked above the surface, glistening in the light. The man frantically grabbed his phone to record, but by the time he did, the mysterious being had already disappeared into the depths. If you look at the silhouette underwater closely, you'll notice it's pretty big for a fish. There's a chance it's a massive sea creature, but its tail orientation would make some think otherwise. The man in this video was convinced he just saw a real mermaid, and honestly, I think he might be right. There are still countless stories that make us wonder what truly lies beneath the waves. So, are you a skeptic or a believer? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our other cool content appearing on the screen right now, and I'll catch you in the next video.